Recording? Got it. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to Dreamstruck. It's Tuesday night. I can't believe April is over half over. I don't know where this month has gone. Hopefully you guys all filed your taxes. That's all done because yesterday was tax day, so you're a bit late today. But I have the pleasure to introduce our guest speaker tonight, Miss Adrienne Mitchell. Adie Mitchell is one of my dearest and bestest friends. I have known Adie for 15 years and she is a pure joy and blessing, and you guys are in for a treat. She's full of energy, wacky, crazy, full of gratitude, just so much fun. We have hung out a lot. I've been to her house. We spent a lot of years early on in the trenches figuring out what Scentsy is and how to do things. So we have some very fun, but anyway, Adie Mitchell is actually, you'll know her as Adie Mitchell. And her license plates say 80 cents instead of 50 cents. We have an increase. So we have 80 cents and she is really lovely. I believe she's also Emily's upline. So Emily, if you have anything you want to say that's lovely about Adie, because she can't have enough praise, because we love her to death.
She's just amazing. She's always been a really consistent leader. I mean, I don't have a lot of connection with a lot of my upline, but she's someone that, although there's a bit of leadership between us, she's always sent me little gifts and encouraged me and just told me, hey, you're doing a great job. And I think it's important as leaders that we all need a cheering squad, and you really can't get enough of that. And so I always appreciate that Adie's always she's noticed me and recognized the effort that I put into my business. And yeah, so I love her too. And she's really Orville sings her praises quite a bit, because in the early days, back when we had way less of a catalog, people used to not believe that they could get 2,000 PRV a month in sales, or that annual sales was possible. But when Adie came on the scene, she was crushing sales at that time. She was one of the highest sale earners at that time in Scensy's early days. So she's definitely someone to look up to in that respect. So I'm really excited to hear from her. You are muted, Carol.
You're still muted. You're still muted, Adie.
Now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yay!
Sorry, technical difficulties out here in the Untry. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm praying that my internet won't go down while I'm talking, because the wind is like really bad right now, and it bugs so bad when it does this, because then it will go like in and out. But I think we'll be okay. I'm praying that we'll be okay. So Carol Ann, that was so sweet. Emily, so sweet. You guys are way too nice. Way too nice. Hey, Amber. So Carol Ann is probably going to hear a few of this things that I talked about on their call last week. I do have a few other things too to share, but I hope she's okay with that. So, because Debbie kind of wanted me to focus on the same thing as last week for what I did for the other team call. So anyways, okay, you guys, I'm so excited to be here. My name is Adie Mitchell, and I have been with Scentsy. It will be 16 years in May 16th. Yes. So kind of crazy. No, sorry, May 17th, 2006. So that's when I signed up. And so yeah, celebrating 16 years in May. It's kind of crazy. I have 4 children. I have a son-in-law. My oldest is married, and he is the best ever. And then I have McKenna and Easton, and then Mallory. So McKenna is 24. Hold on, I got to think about this for a minute. She just turned 24. Oh my God, I feel so old. I am like closer to 50 now than I was 40. Like that is like really kind of freaking me out a little bit. But anyways, so I have McKenna and Easton. Easton is my son-in-law, and then I have Mallory, and she'll be 21 next month. And then I have Hunter, my only son. he will be 18 this summer. And then there's a big space, a little surprise there at the end. Right in the middle of building my Scentsy business, I found out I was pregnant 6 years later after Hunter. And we have Marin, and Marin will be 12 next week. Like, so crazy. So not next week, next month in May. So anyways, family. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought she was saying something to me. So that is my family. I have a fabulous husband. His name is Bryce, and he is my life and my world. And along with my kids and my fur babies, all my animals here that I have. So I am a superstar director, and obviously I told you that already, but so I'm just going to tell you, I started with Scentsy, and so back in the day, I made director in 5 months. So back in the day, that was kind of like the shiz.niz, it was like, holy cow, who did, who does that? But nowadays it's not anything, I mean, it happens a lot. So anyways, I held the record of having, the first $10,000 month in sales, like Emily had said. And that was all parties, you guys. I never did events. I've never done events. I don't do fairs and shows or anything like that. So this is all parties. This is all basket parties, home parties, you name it, like any way I could get my business up and going. And so that was so fun. So I made director in October. The next year in 2007, in September, I made star director. And in October, the very next month, I made superstar director. And so I have been a superstar director since 2007. And I have always been paid at title. So in all these years, I have been paid at superstar director title every single month. And that, that's a tough thing. It is tough. It is something that I work towards, and I'm very happy with doing my work to get my foundation, and it's just my life. So, and thank you. This is my dog barking at everyone coming home now from games and different things. So this is our crazy life, which I'm sure all of you can relate. So hi, Hunter. And that is Douglas. If any of you follow me on on Instagram or Facebook, whatever, you will know that my little country life here is very much a part of people's lives. I share a lot with my craziness here, living in the country, living our little dream out here. So that is Douglas that is barking, and he is so naughty. But anyways, he's a golden retriever, and he's actually one of the coolest dogs you'll ever meet. But oh, Amanda, I know it's crazy. I am crazy. It's okay. I fully embrace it. Fully embrace it. So anyways, okay. So back to my Scentsy life. So like I said before, I've been paid as a superstar director the whole time I've been a superstar director. And I also but I just, sometimes I have like my train of thought, and then I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right. So let me start over. Being a superstar director, I think a lot of people that come into Scentsy, they're like, oh, well, they don't have to do anything. They're a superstar director. They don't have to work. You really do. Like, it is still a lot of hard work and dedication and perseverance and all of that combined. I think some people have the thought like, well, they just have to do their 500 and meet their team volume and yada yada yada, and they don't have to do very much. But that is definitely not the case, not the truth there. So one thing that I love that I'm able to do is take care of my customers. And so this is what I kind of want to focus on is I learned, I mean, and this was a learned thing for sure. This wasn't, I didn't know this right from the start, because I think you really learn things as you go through trial and error, taking risks, all the things, and you learn what works for you and what brings you joy. And so Debbie wanted me to talk a little bit about living a life by design, and Scentsy is my design that I'm living my life. But I learned that building your life around Scentsy can be really hard and challenging. So I want to say building Scentsy into your life rather than building your life around Scentsy, because I don't want you to miss out on the fundamentals and the precious time that you have in other things because you're so caught up in Scentsy. You need to take time to enjoy the moment and trust the process. And so I learned that, like when I started out, I was doing 3 to 4 parties a week. And I look back at my planners, you know, I had the Walmart $5 planners, the black $5 planners that, you know, and that back then, I mean, this is what it is. It's Post-it notes, whiteout. I got my little whiteout when people, you know, if I had to switch them or whatever, reschedule. And, you know, I would always make it a priority to get home in time so I could put my kids to bed, at least tuck them in, give them a kiss goodnight, whatever. But it, you know, I worked really hard, but I still had to make time for those special times for me that were important to me, because my family is everything. And I didn't want to miss out on those moments. I remember this one time sitting down, Mallory, I want to say she was maybe 9. Let's see. How old is she? So 20. Yeah. So maybe like 8 or 9, somewhere around there. And I remember her sitting down, and she was mad at me because I had to do a training or something, and she wanted me to do something with her. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember her coming in and she said, "I hate Scentsy." And like right then I was like, oh, what did you say? Like, oh my gosh, you know, this is, you really did say that, you know? So I had to like take a deep breath and be like, okay, I need to go talk to her and discuss, you know, the things that Scentsy brings us, the blessings that it provides, you know, different things. And so I sat down with her, and, you know, after that precious time, it was a learning moment for me. It was a learning moment for her. It was more or less the thing that I had to take a step back and be like, okay, what am I missing here? Like, why am I not, am I building my life around Scentsy? And so I'm just trying to fill in the cracks and that, like, is that really what I want? I want my kids to enjoy and know that I'm going to be to every game, that I'm going to be to every practice, and all their dance recitals and all the things. I will not miss that, because that is the beauty of this business. And so that was a very big teaching moment for me. And after that, after I had explained to her, you know, what mommy was doing and different things, and the reason why, and that, you know, I still have time for her, and I come to, you know, I was just here at your game, and you know, and she kind of realized, you know, and she's like, I know. And, you know, after we had this nice discussion, she never said anything like that ever again, because she knew that we were building a life by design, and Scentsy was in our lives for a reason. And we were enjoying trips and, you know, going to Disney World and doing the things that with Scentsy, and, you know, having the fun extras because of mommy's hard work, you know. And so anyways, but it was a teaching moment, because I realized, no, I need to build Scentsy in to my life rather than my life around Scentsy. I hope that kind of makes sense a little bit. Because if we do that, we start feeling burnout. It definitely is. You got to be careful. You will learn quickly when you have reached a point where it's no longer fun, and there's ruts and valleys and peaks and valleys, and in this business. And So anyways, I learned that I needed to do things that brought me joy. I needed to do more things and incorporate these things into my Scentsy business so I could be a better leader, a better mother, a better wife, everything about that I needed to bring in things that brought me joy. I had just finished this book, Find Your People. I don't know. I think many of you probably have read this. So many great takeaways. I know that some people have messaged me that there's like a workbook for this. This book is life-changing. I shed lots of tears. It was excellent. So definitely put it on your must read. Book. She talks a lot about when you are finding your people and finding your, the things that make you tick, like those things that are special to you, and the people that will fight for you. And oh, thank you, Emily. Sorry. And the things that make you attracted to those people and why. And so, I mean, there's just so many things that you learn about your personality, and so many things that you learn who you are, like, and why you attract the people that you do, and why you're attracted to the other people, and, all the things, but so many good points. And she says, let's see, give yourself as much grace as you give to everyone else. She talks a lot about different things like that. There's a lot of spiritual things in there too. If you are into that kind of thing, it's really, really a great book. So I finished that 2 weeks ago on the cruise that I went on with Marin, my youngest, and it was just the mom and daughter cruise. It was really fun. But so I started this new one, and this is called Undistracted. It's from Bob Goff. Okay, so I'm into a couple chapters already. Like, I'm just floored. I literally, like, he talks about things that, and this is where it comes into the fact where you've got to do things that bring you joy. You've got to enjoy the moments, enjoy those precious times with your kids, with your husband, with your family, whatever those may be. You've got to put those in with while you're working Scentsy, or it will become very, very distracting. And this book, Undistracted, huge. So he talks about, you need to ask yourself what makes your heart beat in ways that make you stronger, more courageous, more giving, and more loving. So figure out what makes your heart skip a beat with joy, and what makes it miss a beat with dysfunction and distraction. Be willing to change all of it if you need to. So that, when I read that, like, I was just like making notes and like underlining, because that put into perspective how I have learned through these years of building my Scentsy business, that I had to learn, okay, I was distracted. Like, I was running to and fro, and okay, yep, I'm going to be to this, I'm going to do this, and and being a young mom and young kids, and there's so many things that we get distracted by, that we forget to find what we need to bring ourselves joy in the whole process. And so as I have built my Scentsy business living here in the country, so we lived in the city. I call it the city, which I don't know whatever. Okay, so there's stoplights and it's the city. Okay. So we lived there for about 20 years. And then we built our house down here, and there's no stoplights here where I live, none. No, just the country. And we have Bryce. My husband is a general contractor. He's a very talented contractor. He is a very talented home builder, and so he was able to build this house. Yeah, no stoplights through that. I know, you're right. And so we were able to build this dream home because of Scentsy, and because of living. We wanted things that brought us joy. Like this was our dream. This was our little slice of heaven. It was one of those things that you strive for, and you know that it's in the distance and you can see it. I think there's a meme or something like, not everyone wants diamonds. They want a house in the country with a wraparound porch and stuff. Well, I get that. I have that. So great. So anyways, so we moved here with the kids were older. McKenna was a junior when we moved here. So we've lived out here in the country for it'll be 7 years in June. But we started finding the little things that brought us joy, and it was so rewarding. And I love animals. And so I started getting this little hobby farm. And it really is so fun. It's so fun. And, but it's so great because it's my therapy. I get to go out every day and talk to my chickens, talk to my goats, talk to my pigs, my horses, and my Highland cows. Like they're the coolest things. And so it started with chickens, and I realized, this was like my big thing. Like this was what I have worked for all these years, is to live this life and to be able to run a successful business in the country and still earn the trips, still get paid at title. It definitely is very humbling, and it's an honor to be able to do that. But with that, it has taught me so much, because I've been able to, with finding that joy and finding that niche that, makes my heart skip a beat. I learned that this new vet in town that grew up here and came back after vet school, and he started his own practice here. And I would go in and anyways, it got to the point where I just started to volunteer at the vet clinic. And so I have been with the vet clinic for about 3.5 years, and it has brought me so much joy. I have learned so much. I have been taught so much, but I've been able to give back. And that is such a part of my life and who I am, is giving back and giving service. And because that's what brings me joy. And Amber, because if we don't find those things, we get so burned out in building our life around Scentsy. And so I'm trying to make you understand like how it's different when I say it. Building your life around Scentsy, building Scentsy into your life. Like, so I just want you to see the clarification there, because it lets you, the beauty of this business is it lets you do those things that bring you joy, that make your heart skip a beat, that, but it also has the ups and downs. Like I said, I am not going to sit here and say, oh, it's been all rainbows and unicorns this whole time, because it hasn't. There has been rough times and ruts and peaks and valleys, like I said, but you really do. Isabel, that's awesome. Is he good? But at the same time, when you start feeling that burnout and that, oh, I'm not doing what so-and-so's doing. She's recruiting like blah, blah, blah. And she's online. She does all the social media. She's like the social media guru. I suck at that. Like, I mean, there's so many things where we bring in self-doubt that it makes it really hard. And comparison is the thief of joy. And we all know that. And because everyone's businesses are in different seasons, don't compare your winter to someone's summer. Okay. I mean, there's so many different seasons of Scentsy business that you need to look at where you're standing and look ahead. When I was training for marathons, I used to be a runner and my back's all screwed up now, but anyways, I really enjoyed running. And yes, it was, I kind of set the mold like that chubby people can run too. It's okay. You don't have to be a size -0 to be a runner. But I have ran, let's see, I think I've ran 11 or 12 half marathons and 1 full marathon. But anyways, as I was training for that, I started learning that, you know, all these little tiny, the typical runner body, tiny, doesn't have any, would run past me, and right. I love that, Heather. Would run past me, and I'd be like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm taking it at my pace, because that's what works for me. Slow and steady wins the race. And so I remember looking ahead, and as I would train and do these long runs, and they would be so mind-boggling and so hard. It would just be so frustrating, because I'd be like, I have trained for this. I know I can do this. Why is this like killing me right now? Like, my mind, it's such a mind game. And I think so many times our Scentsy business plays with our minds, because we get in our heads so fast, because we're not doing what so-and-so's doing and having the success that so-and-so's having, and all the things. So I remember looking and I had like a mile left, and I was looking down at my feet as they were just feeling like clods, like cement blocks, like literally cement blocks. And I remember thinking, I cannot run any more with these. My body is done. So I looked ahead, and I saw this tree that had this funky branch. And I was just, and I'm just barely, trying to move and keep going. And I was like, if I can just get to that branch, if I can just get to that tree with that crazy branch, then, I know I can get going. And so here comes the crazy branch. And I was like, oh, in my mind, it was like, ding, 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 ding. You made it. Like, okay, that's great. Oh, like a little kind of burst of self-confidence. And, like you were like, yeah, it's a goal slave, like it's just those little things. And then I start looking ahead, and I'm like, okay, there's that power line that has the green sign on it. It had a sign on it. If I can get to that, I'm getting closer. So all I didn't look down. I looked ahead at the power pole with the green sign. I'm going to get there. It's okay. My feet are cement blocks, but I'm going to get there. Got to the power line with the green sign. Oh my gosh, I did it. Like, like it was just, so then it was like, oh, I got this. Heck yeah, this doesn't have anything on me, And then soon, like, sure enough, there was the finish line, and I was there. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was so in my head. It was so it was such a mind game. My body was capable, but my mind, like, completely held me back. So this is where the attitude comes in. And one of my favorite quotes, and I have it in my Scentsy office. Oh gosh, you are so funny. So, but and I say it to my kids all the time, and they will tell you all the time, don't you feel bad for them? I feel bad for them. But anyways, I always say one's attitude determines one's altitude. And it is so entirely true. You guys, do not get in your head. Do not let yourself like say, oh, I can't I'm just not that person. I'm not Emily. I don't have the success that Carol has. Or I am not recruiting like DPP, who's down with DPP? That's what I call her. I love DPP anyways, but, so that's just, it was such a huge thing. So, really quick, I just wanted to tell you like 5 things that, 5 terms as far as, to help us be the best versions of ourselves. Okay. Because that is what we're striving to do, is to be a leader, a wife, a mother, whatever, a husband, a better husband, whatever it is. We all have room for self-improvement, and we all need to try to, do things to help us so we can go along this road, along this Scentsy journey. If I'm running, you better. So, but 5 words to keep in your vocabulary. Okay, so 5 words to keep in your vocabulary when you're facing the struggle. When the struggle is real, and you have to trust the process. You have to see the power line with the green sign. You have to see the tree branch that is crazy coming out the side of the tree. You have to look at those things in the distance and actually be like, okay, I'm going to do this. If I'm going to recruit 2 people, you better know that I'm going to get them certified. Okay. Because certified is the next power line, with the green sign. So there's just trust the process. Okay. So the 5 words, sorry, I like get on tangents and stuff. Anyway, so the 5 words are rest. Okay. And everyone's act of resting is so different. Like it could certify to the next power line. You got that, sister. Rest could be laying down and binge watching a show for a couple hours, or even for an hour, whatever your rest is. Everyone's rest is different. The act of ceasing to work in order to be refreshed and recover your strength, even when you don't think you're worthy of it. Okay, that right there, when we think, oh, well, I didn't do this, this comes into play here again. I've done a training on this, and I know several people have seen this, but on the power hour, there is so many things that we can do in an hour. If that is all we have in our day, there's so many things that we can do in that power hour. So there we go. So you do have time to rest. Remember that you need to take time to rest. If you do not rest, our cups are constantly pouring out. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, mine is dry again. And shoot, I need to, we really need to learn those things early on, because the sooner you learn these things, the better, I promise, you will be able to run your business. I promise you. Okay. So, and then to play. So we all know, Carol Ann, what's your thing that you love to say? Work. Are you going to jump on?
Work hard to play harder.
Prep, right? That is my Carol Ann quote. And I love that so much, because it is so true. So true. And so it's to engage in an activity just for the fun of it, even when there's no definite factor of why it's important or how it's productive, because it's true. Like, it's so true. We have to play and have those moments that make our heart skip a beat. Like, we need those moments. We need to live for those moments. Curiosity. So this is so true. A stirring desire to look around right where you are, to learn something new, even when there are unknowns ahead of you. It's so good. I've always said it's better to take the risk and fail than not take the risk at all. Because if we are not willing to try new things in our business, to implement things that we're scared of, there's so many things that curiosity can drive, like, and we can grow from it. And it's so vital. Of course, dream. Like, I love all the Walt Disney quotes for dreaming. And this is what it says. It says, a cherished thought of something you would like to happen, that even when it seems too childish or impractical, you can still recognize the act of dreaming itself as something that keeps hope stirring within you. And it makes your heart skip a beat. Those dreams, they do. My dreams of living on a little hobby farm and growing things and doing things and having horses and a mini donkey and Highland cows and my chickens are my pride and joy. Like, those little dreams are so fulfilling, and they fill my cup so much. So you need to remember, dream big for sure. And then the last one is grace. We have to give ourselves grace. And when I opened this little presentation, I talked about how, hold on, where is my notes? You need to give yourself as much grace as you give to everyone else. So, as leaders, we come, we're here to lift up and to Stacy, yay, one chicken mama to another. We're here to lift up and support and encourage. And we're these, we're our cheerleaders and our coaching, all the things that sometimes we fall short, and that's okay. It is okay. Give yourself grace, try again, try again in the morning. Okay. So here's one thing that I want to challenge you to do. The one thing that has changed my life so in so many ways is waking up and having my quiet time. It has been, it's a sacrifice. All of us love to sleep. Like we love our sleep. We love to sleep in, whatever it may be. But when about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, actually, we started drinking Perk, and it's just a great drink, but we call it perking time. And it's before everything gets crazy, your hustle and bustle of your day, the kids running to and from, trying to get ready for school, whatever it may be. You're trying to get ready for work fast. You got to jump in the shower. Or whatever it may be. It's when all the chaos starts in the morning. So Bryce and I, my sweet husband, Bryce K, we get up early. And our kids always say to us, like, if you ask them, they'd be like, they're so old. Our parents are old. They go to bed early, get up early. Because we are, like, that is sleep. Your 8 hours of sleep. And Carol Ann will tell you this, 8 hours of sleep it can change your life when you focus on making sure you get those hours of sleep. It can really, really help. But this time is my be still time. This is when Bryce and I can discuss like what's going on in the day, what's coming up in the week. We do scripture study. It's our time to let our minds be open and to kind of grasp what is going on in our day and the things that we are trying to do better at. It's like our time. It's like our special time. And I cannot tell you how much that has changed my life. It has been life-changing. And I will say it again and again. Since getting up early and having quiet time before you're running around like a mad woman, it is so good for your heart and soul and your mind. And so whether it be you're meditating or doing yoga or any kind of thing that you have time to kind of clear your head, right? Sleep is overrated. To clear your head and to just kind of be like, okay, these are the things that I need to focus on. I am doing, I get up at 6. I don't know if that's very early for many people, but we also live on a farm, so we have to do chores and all of that. So we go to bed early and we're up at 6, sometimes 5:30. In the summer, it can be earlier because the sun rises is early and all the things, and it's so peaceful and so beautiful. But anyways, sunrises are guarantee that it's a new day, and we are not given tomorrow. Tomorrow is, we have to live our lives to be like as if tomorrow doesn't exist. And we always need to remember that. And so those precious times of your quiet time, your time with your kids, your time with your family, whatever it may be, you need to do those things to help you be the leader and to be the Scentsy businesswoman, whatever you want to call yourself, to do better at all the things that you can do. I can't stress it enough. Focus on your relationships. If you're spending too much time on social media and not getting anywhere with your Scentsy business, change your focus, figure it out. No, okay, this isn't working for me. So I'm going to go this route. I'm going to look ahead and I'm going to look at that power line with the green sign, because I need to get there. So I need to advance that way. Okay. But look at your relationships. Where are you struggling? My business, repeat customer business is huge for me. It is one of the heart and souls of my business. And definitely my customers know I take care of them. I've had them for all these years. And even moving, I still have a lot of my same people from up where I used to live. So there's the thing. Focus on what you're doing really well as well. Like Carla Hunter shared this, focus on the one thing that you're doing awesome at and grow with that. And then take baby steps to try, because if we're not constantly like trying different things, as far as not constantly, but trying something that makes you nervous, makes you scared, makes you, oh, I don't know if I could do this, you know, then we're not growing. And if we're not growing that way, how are we supposed to conquer goals and slay these things that we have set aside and set in the future that we want to do? Like, we have to make it hard for ourselves. We have to. Life is, it's tough. It's tough. It totally is tough in so many things. But guess what? That's where we grow, through trial and error. And through the trials do we grow. We rise above all the things. So anyways, so I just want to just leave with this, and then we can open it with Q&A if you guys have any questions. I don't know if you will or not, but it says, if you died tonight, your employer would advertise to fill your job role by the end of the month. Okay. But your loved ones, chosen family and friends would miss you forever. Don't get too busy making a living that you forget to make a life. So that is my challenge for you. Find the things that bring you joy. Find those things that make your heart skip a beat. And I promise you, those little things will help you in your Scentsy business every day. Every day. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? My Marin's right here. Hi, Mar.
Hey.
I don't know if anyone has questions, but
Hey, Marin. Hey, Mar. That was amazing. Does anybody have, you always speak gold, and you speak to people and touch people so well. So Teresa, Debbie, anybody have questions? Or if you guys have questions, you can put them in the chat as well, guys. So yeah, I'm an early riser. I have to have 8 hours. I'm a grumpy penny. And and I go to bed at 9 o'clock. I mean, like, I literally go to bed at 9 every day.
Beautiful. That beautiful thing.
I want to say thank you questions, but I did take a lot of notes. And what I really thought was very impactful tonight is oftentimes we hear about the hustle and you've got to get in and you've got to work to be successful, which you do. But what we heard tonight, first and foremost, is that you have to rest. And one of our audience members, Camille, was, capturing a scripture, and I believe speaking about how even in scripture, it talks about resting. And oftentimes, even outside of Scentsy, just in the corporate world as well, you don't hear rest being a component of success, but it is. It was spoken long ago in scripture, and it's very important today. And so I hope that there's someone out there that really heard that first word tonight, which is making sure that you incorporate rest, not last, but probably first as you're beginning your day. That's what we heard. As you're beginning your week, rest is so vital, because if your cup is not filled, you are inevitably going to reach burnout. So I really loved that. And then you didn't say after that, okay, and then after you rest, you have to hustle. You said, then you need to play. And I love that too, because this is how you design your life. And I always tell people that it's so important that you work to live versus living to work. And so often, like when I lived on the East Coast in Washington, DC, I met so many people and they lived in big houses, and they made a lot of money. But when I was at church and trying to get them to sign up to volunteer for things, they were never home Monday through Friday. Sometimes they even worked out of state. So were they really rich? And so when you look at this component of resting and incorporating playing, and playing can be whatever that looks like in your case, it's, you get up and you play with those animals. Yes, it's work to take care of them, but you guys, if you follow Adie on Instagram, there is a time where I was obsessed. When Melissa Gratz was visiting her, I literally tuned in like I was watching Fox or CNN or whatever, because I was like, what is going on in the farm? You know, who's drinking perk and when? What is, you know, the golden retriever doing? Like it was a show, but it was so neat to see successful women in this business playing.
Right.
Yet their business didn't sacrifice. So I loved that. And then always keeping that curiosity rich, because I think the moment that you lose that curiosity is the moment that you become complacent, and this is no longer fun anymore. It becomes a monotonous job. So, and then to dream, like Tuesdays when we meet, we call this Dream Struck, because how many of us are living our dreams? I know that I am. I'm living a dream, never imagined this. And so to see other people living their dreams too, it's just telling us that what's possible. And then the grace. And I really want to touch on the grace aspect, because grace can be applied in so many areas in our lives, personally and professionally. And sometimes business and life isn't going to always look like the design that we hope for. Even right now, we're kind of dealing with some, you know, fine tuning with our flash sales shipping delays, right? And we can be up in arms and angry, but then it's like, you know what? We're going to have a little bit of grace here, you know, because it's the stress that's going to do you in. And sometimes you can't control everything that comes your way, but that's where you just say, you know what? Now I need to hit up the grace category. So anyway, I just want to say I took so many notes, and I want to encourage all of you to, you know, always be a student. You know, I don't care what your title is. I don't care if you're a superstar director, if you're mom, dad, whatever. Never stop being a student. So tonight I learned so much. I'm going to shut up and pass this on to anyone else and see if there's any questions or any final remarks that the other panelists have to share. But thank you, Adie. Oh, one last thing. I'm sorry. Adie, a special moment that I had with you was in Idaho. I went to my very first Superstar Directors Summit, and I was a little nervous. And when it was all said and done, I remember being in an elevator, and that elevator ran kind of slow. But anyway, everyone was huddled in the elevator, and you were just talking to me like nothing. You're like, well, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to the airport. How are you getting there? And I didn't know how I was getting there. I was going to have to find an Uber. And by the time we hit the lower level, you found me a ride. You know, you're like, hey, so-and-so is going to the airport. They're going to take you. And I'm like, I don't even know who so-and-so is. And I'm in this truck with another lady and her husband, and I'm getting a ride. That is our community. We truly are a Cincy family. But when I got on that plane, I was like, I can't believe I got a ride here. I didn't have to pay anything. Don't know who took me, but Adie hooked it all up in the elevator. So thank you.
Thank you. I just love you.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
Thank you, Adie. I remember the moment that we had over in Switzerland. I don't know if you remember, we were eating breakfast a few times there in Switzerland. I just absolutely love you. And since then, I started following you. I don't know if you know it, because I know on the stories you can tell who's following you. But guys, every morning I wake up and I look forward to her stories. I even know her animals by name: Annabelle, Winnow, Tink, Tinkerbell. I mean, I don't know them all, but she used a special voice when she called out to those animals. I need to come up with some special things to say to these two dolls that I have. So, but she brings she brings so much joy. And she said she spoke so much into me, because I don't rest. And I hear this over and over and over. Do you ever sleep? And the answer is no, I don't sleep. But I had something that happened to me in the last week where I got really, really sick. And it made me sit back and take a look at my life, because I've been taking care of everybody else and I come last. Yeah. And you spoke to me tonight. And I really appreciate that, because I had a close call, not dying, but it made me know that I need to take a step back and I need to rest. I need to reevaluate the way I work my business and everything else. So I want to say thank you so much for that, because I need to hear that. I need to rest. I need to go. I need to know when to cut it off, because I'm going all the time. Even me, I need to sleep. So thank you for that.
Well, and on that, Deb, PP, down with DPP, but on that, if don't take the time for our bodies to get rest and do that, then our bodies will make us take the time. And sometimes that's a kind of a slap in the face, like, okay, I know I've just been burning the candle at both ends and I have not rested. I have not let my body recoup, like there's a lot to be said with it. It's a lot.
Thank you for that. Love you so much.
And Debbie, you need to play also.
Yeah.
Yeah, play. I forget that part.
Yes, you do. We're so excited. We're going to Norway with Sensi in a couple weeks, and then I get to come to Florida and see some of you on here. I'm so excited.
Me too. Hey.
Adie, can you go through and tell us your animals' names and just talk to us like you talk to them, please?
Yo, how are ya? I didn't even see you on there, honey. Okay, so
I'm just a little sneak on here.
So
Do it.
my chickens, like, they all have names, and I talk to them, and I'm always, good morning, girls, how's it going? Here's your breakfast. They love their mealworms in the morning, and they love to come and visit. They come running. My piggies, my two little piggies are Gabby and Mary Lou. And Gabby and Mary Lou, my sweet little girls, they are just the happiest little souls ever. And then Douglas, we all know Douglas. He's the golden retriever that is hysterical. I've never met a dog like him, and he makes us laugh constantly. And then our other little golden retriever that's as sweet as sweet, and she's our older one. Her name's Daisy. And I call her my Schlage. She's a putta girl. And then Tink, of course, is the duck that is not normal at all. Like, she is so not normal. And so, like, everyone here, like, my little nephew told my sister-in-law, he's like, Mom, I think Aunt Adie has a special needs farm. Because everyone is so, like, we're just so not normal, and it's okay, because that's the beauty of it. And that's why, and I would love for it to be called a special needs farm, because they are all special and have so many great things to give us, and like give us love and love us unconditionally. Like, it's so awesome. So Tink is the duck that is currently sitting on chicken eggs. They are not her eggs, but anyways, I haven't told her that. I haven't broke the news to her yet that they will probably be chickens if she ends up hatching any of them. And then Penny is the other duck that is kind of a grumplump. She's an unfit mother, but she's sitting on eggs as well. And she is quite funny. The funny farm. Yes, Kayla, absolutely. And then I have, we lost our one horse last week. It was very tragic. So I've been trying to deal with that in my life. And like I said, there will always be trials and sometimes tragedies in your life that really kind of rock your world. And it was tough. It was really tough. But so we have Hood and Jude and Buddy. Buddy is our little, Hood and Jude are the other horses. And then Buddy is the mini donkey. So here's Douglas right here. I don't know if you can see him right here. Oh, Doug, say hi, Sluggy. It's a good buoy. And then Ruby is our cute little lamb that was Marin's lamb last year for the stock show. She showed her, and we ended up not wanting to sell her because we fell in love with her. And oh, excuse me. There you go, dogs. No, Doug, no one is here right there. You don't need to tell me that. And then we have Batty. Batman is our goat that thinks he's human, that breaks into the house a lot and loves to go bye-bye. He does love to enjoy going bye-bye. And Batty, so we call, his name is short for Batty. For Batman, we call him Batty. And can anyone see that this is the crazy things of people, of these dogs? And then we have Dash, that is a fainting goat, and Peony, I call her name's Peanut, I call her Peony. Let's see, and then all my chickens, I'm trying to think, Gabby and Mary Lou, I think that's everyone.
Can we expect a family photo of your funny farm soon?
Right? I know everyone's always like, you need to get a big picture of all your animals. I'm like, I don't know if I can have a big picture with, I let them all out to play. And that's another thing that isn't normal is they know that they can come, like when I let them out, it's play. And because we live on about 15 acres out here. And so they just, and we kind of live up on a hill away from the road. So they just have the best time. They play and just, they love to come out. And we gave the pigs a bath the other day. It was hysterical. But yeah, like they all get along for the most part. And so that's always a fun thing too, but they bring us great joy. And if I've done anything in my life, good that way, that it's because I hopefully can bring a smile and bring a giggle sometime in the morning, even if it's like right first thing in the morning, just like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. But those animals are hilarious. And I just love to share it. So it is my blessing, such a great blessing for me.
We enjoy it.
Kelly, I love you. You're so sweet.
I love you.
Okay.
I love your language. It always makes me laugh.
I know. And I am so crazy. I feel bad. Have I gone way so long? I am so sorry.
Nope,
Okay.
you're fine.
Okay.
You are absolutely good. We have like 3 minutes left. So
All right. And oh my heavens.
any other last words of wisdom that you want to share? Tell everybody to go potty outside.
I know. Potty outside. Go potty. Potty outside.
Potty outside, Holly.
Oh, I
Okay.
forgot. Magnificent creature, my black and white cat Stunt, and he is so magnificent and beautiful. I share him quite a bit too. And then Mudge and Marie. Mudge is the one that jumped on the elk the other day on the wall. I don't know if you saw that. And they're the ones that climb.
My daughter saw her. She said, Mommy, look. I showed it to her.
Right. Yes. So I don't know. Words of wisdom. Just remember to live. What did I say right here? Don't get too busy making a living that you forget to make a life. That's good.
Well, I think that's excellent way to end this evening. If I don't see any more
Okay, that's great.
questions, right? No, anybody else see any questions? But Adie, we love you and we appreciate you being on. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing your awesomeness. I love you. I can't wait to hug you next week in Florida. You're muted. I know you're talking, but you're muted. We can't hear you.
I'm so excited I get to see all of you soon. I'm so excited.
Yay. Good. Okay, guys, thanks for joining in tonight. Please make sure you share the replay with your teams, and everyone have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us.
Mwah. Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Good night, guys.